Welcome back, everyone. It has been a minute. Man, I've been wanting to show you what's in my bag probably since July of 2022, and here I am just now getting around to it. So 2022 is a crazy season for me. I kept bouncing back, mentally didn't know if I wanted to play MPO, MA1. And then I went to Worlds with a buddy of mine, Mike Corey, and just seeing those guys in person, man, just made me want to strive for more. And I just can't wait for 2023. I'm really looking to make a push. Hopefully 2024 I get to play a couple pro tours. That's the goal, so we'll see. But if you've played around with me casually or in a tournament, then you know that this is mostly Discraft. So let's get into it. First off, we're putting with the Full Turn Team Passports Soft Ground. These are what I used all last year, so they're kind of beat up. Probably need a new pair. I love them though. They're really dependable. I used a Focus from Discraft when I first started playing, and the Focus has a bead and these don't. But when it comes to putting, if it's going in the chains, I don't see why the bead matters. And these have been working for me, so I think they're gonna stay in the bag until further notice. All right, next up, we got the approach discs. So we'll start with the Zone. The Crystal Flex Zone is a staple for me. Anything like 220 and in, this is my guy. If I got open space, for sure. It's just so reliable. If I need something a little shorter and I needed to grip to the ground, I go for the Full Turn Discs shortcut. This thing, hopefully you can see this profile view here. It's definitely hit a few trees over the season last year, and I actually picked this up from John probably midway through the year, so I mean that's only like 6 months worth of wear right there, and it's seen better days, but it still flies perfect. So it's not coming out of the bag until it's just unusable anymore. Some of you may know I'm not a big mid-range guy. I like my drivers, so I really only carry 2 molds, and it's the Buzz, which this is an older Z run. This thing's a little more understable than this newer Misprint Z. This one will go straight and then fade at the end. This one kind of will go straight for a while, slow turn to the right, and it most likely won't come back. So they both serve their purpose, and I'm really trying to work them into my shot selection more. And then we got the Discraft Hornet after that. This is an older disc. I don't think it's in production anymore, other than maybe a couple Ledgestone runs, but this one is way more reliable than the Buzz for me on the fade. It always has that consistent fade at the end. I do like it for tunnel wood shots because I can put just a slight ante on it and it'll just be a dead straight shot just like the Buzz. But like I said, those shots are not my favorite, so I'm working on being more consistent. Probably my favorite disc in the Discraft lineup next is the Raptor. We got a Crystal Raptor here, the Captain's Raptor here. I think it's a Z Metallic. At this point, these discs are pretty much the same. I know when the Captain's Raptor came out, they wanted it to be more stable than the Raptor, and this Crystal Raptor, when I first got it, was just so overstable. But it's I've beat it in so much now that it's like a perfect disc. So I definitely don't want to lose these. These are my go-tos on the overstable forehands. So these 2 discs, we got the Paul Macbeth Athena first run, and then we got ESP Undertaker. This is like that slot that I don't really throw. I've always, if it's not a Raptor or a Buzz, I'm usually just throwing a Force or something. And so that's something I've been working on a lot recently. And this Undertaker has a nice little flip up, goes straight for a while and then dumps at the end. This Athena will flip up, but it won't dump at the end. It's pretty much dead straight for me. It's just not an Onyx anymore. I don't know what happened. It was like a really good straight to fade disc when I got it, and now it's like a turnover disc. And then we got this little Big Z Onyx. Shout out Carson. This thing is just way more beefy than that one. It'll go straight and fade, reliable every time. It's never gonna turn over on me. All right, next up we got a roller disc. We got a really old, well not really old I guess, 2019 Avenger SS Z. This thing is I think 167 gram. The sticker came off, but I remember when I got it, it was really lightweight, and it's when I first started playing, so you know, this was like my distance driver when I got it, and now it's just my roller disc, so it doesn't come out very often. I'm not a roller guy, but still, it's good to have when you need it. This is a Machete, Z Machete. I really love this on forehand. I don't throw it backhand very often, but it's just so dependable. Fade every time. It wants to get to the ground immediately. A disc I pretty much don't throw, but it has its purpose when I need it. It is a Nuke OS Ledgestone Tour Series. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of the Nuke. My hands don't fit around the Nuke very well, so I never really enjoy throwing this backhand, but you know, if we got a stiff headwind or I need a big flare skip, I do use this disc. It just, you know, maybe once a tournament, sometimes not even at all. Next up, we got the Hades. So I got a stock ESP run, and then I got the Proto Hades. This one has kind of turned into like a big Annie turnover, almost a roller disc. And then this one's just a nice flip up. It'll turn right a little bit, but it still has that consistent fade at the end. And last but not least, the distance driver of choice for me is the Discraft Force. I got a few different ones here. So this is like a really old ESP one, pop top. I don't throw this very often. It's been on my backup shelf, but I am gonna bag it this year. It's really grippy, it feels great, and it could end up being my go-to because it's beat in enough to where it'll flip up, turn a little bit, and you know, that's what you want out of a good distance driver. Next we got, let's see, we got these two from 2020. This is a Glow ESP. This is my go-to forehand if I need it to flip up to flat, or if I want to throw it flat and get it to turn and then fade at the end. I go to this one every time. This is a really good disc. I love it. If you ever find one of these, let me know, because I cannot find any more. We got another ESP Force from the same year. I've just beat it in. I've had this since I started playing, so it's just beat in nicely. It'll flip over a little bit, but it still has that reliable fade. Honestly, I think these two discs fly very similar, so I may not need them both in the bag, but it's also nice to have a backup. We do have some water around here, so. Let's see, we got this one. This is just a stock newer one, so it's a little more stable. Shout out to my cousin Kyle. He lives down in Florida. He gave me this recently, so I told him it was going straight into the bag. So he may get to see me throw this year. And then the Money Force. If you're a Discraft thrower, you know the 2019 Forces are the way to go. This thing, for whatever reason, is money. Does whatever you need it to do. It's always reliable. And I just picked this up at the end of the season. It's going to be a workhorse this year. Hey, that's pretty much it for my bag. Thank you for watching. This is the Fossa bag, if you're wondering. Skinny, I think it's the Fossa Skinny 2. Pretty good bag. I don't carry a lot of discs, but this bag holds everything I need. The only downfall is you can't really like stuff a sweater in here if it's cold or if it's rainy, but there is, you know, spots to put an umbrella or a stool. So it does everything you need. I've had it for this whole season, and I mean, it's almost like brand new still. So thanks for watching.